Alright, hello Riven mains and Yasuo mains alike. I am the Nightwing, coming at you guys with another League of Legends video. Now, today has been a really interesting day in terms of the LCS and in terms of the LPL slash LCK slash VCS slash LMS Rift Rivals that just took place yesterday, and it was a surprisingly one-sided affair from the LCK. Now, if you guys don't know about the LCK versus LPL Rift Rivals competition, it's pretty much just that the LMS tries, but the LMS has surely fallen from grace since Flash Wolves' top players have left and went to China, the region where, anybody that's not pretty much Karsa hasn't really been successful so far. Maple and Sword Art have went to Suning, and they were supposed to be a super team, and, that didn't work out too well for them, all things considered. Karsa, it has won 2 back-to-back splits so far with RNG, and by the way RNG is playing, is pretty much looking like to, win another title. So, our RNG has multiple titles so far, and, are only about to probably add another one to the case. And all things considered, I'm just going to give my thoughts and opinions on pretty much the whole thing. I didn't do power rankings for this because if I did power rankings for this, then it would be pretty much me just talking about the LCK and the LPL, because we know for sure that the other teams weren't going to do anything. We saw how powerful Dashing Buffalo were at MSI, and we saw how good Evos were back at a MSI that they went to back in 2018. Yeah, they've changed a little bit, but more or less, so they're still the same. We saw how the LMS performed at MSI, and how we saw the LMS perform against the that Russian team. We saw how Flash Wolves performed against that Russian team where they lost a game, and I was like, what in the world is going on with these guys? It really did feel like ever since they lost the core Flash Wolves members, that it just really wasn't working out for them. And then when you look at the LPL, they sent some pretty strong teams. And overall, the LCK does a fantastic job at the event. They only lose one game in the double round robin. When the event starts going, every team is pretty good, all things considered. People pulling out talent picks for the LPL. We have a lot of these LPL hyped up teams making their international debut. I really did feel like JDG really has fallen from their second place spring split form. I don't really know what's specifically going on with them so far. It just feels like they're not really playing like a team. Like, they get advantages and then they just completely, fall apart. Fun plus Phoenix played pretty much exactly how I thought they would play. Fun plus Phoenix to me is pretty much just like Griffin, except they just have like weaker players. They really do have similar play styles. So Fun plus Phoenix did pretty well, all things considered. They're on the very last day, they were the only team to keep the LPL alive with their only win, so kudos to them, obviously. And they had a rather convincing game. You guys know how Doinby is. He's always going to pull out that mid lane pocket picks. This dude will play tanks, this dude will play ADCs mid, this dude will play supports mid. This dude just has an infinite champion pool when it comes to mid lane. Overall, I feel like if Fun plus Phoenix wants to improve on their roster in any future, if you're going to keep Doinby, then maybe consider, switching out Crisp or the jungler, because it obviously looked like that, some of the plays they were making really weren't on the same page. Top, played good, all things considered, I think, but, Knight had a rather underwhelming international performance, and we saw it by, like, how many uncharacteristic mistakes he was making in some of his games. And I think one of the biggest disappointments in terms of the actual final day was IG, losing to King Zone. And I think that is something that, a lot of people, really did not expect, because a lot of people had IG, pegged as a pretty much top 2 team coming into the event. But people had to factor in that IG, literally just got back Rookie, like I think 2 days before Rift Rivals. Rookie still performed really well. Faker performed back at, I think, not at his peak form, but I think Faker overall performed pretty well for his overall performance. He was just, just laying it down on these kids. He was like, you guys know how to play mid lane, but I'm the god of mid lane. His Azir plays were incredible. He played really great all event long. SKT and the LCK, going into this event, I thought they, and it really did show they had an identity crisis. They didn't know if they want to play fast, they didn't know if they want to play slow, or they wanted to play just standard, and this tournament showed that they can adapt and that they can, play fast. A lot of their wins were fast wins. They sometimes won in like sub 25 minutes. So now, looking at this event and going into the next round of the LCK, I feel like that these teams can play fast. And Kingzone, SKT, teams like Damwon and Griffin. Well, Griffin, we already know already can play fast. And Damwon has now shown that they can really play a lot quicker in their gameplay. I feel like their biggest standout performers were everybody on Damwon. Everybody on Damwon was pretty good except for Nuclear. Aside from a few bad games, Nuclear looked okay. Everybody else pretty much played absolutely incredible. Kingzone played good. I really liked how Rascal and Cuz showed up on the international event. Kingzone, Dragon X, remember, were the chokers, of the LCK. They were the international chokers, just like G2 were for a very long time. So it's very nice to see that, a team of not star players could do something better than a team of star players could do. And this will, I think obviously show people that it really goes to show that it's not about just having star players. It's about having players that cohesively match as a unit and can obviously play cohesively together to get your game plan going, to have certain types of draft picks, and to have a various specific type of way you want to play the game. And I feel like that Kingzone for this roster specifically has found that with Naehyun. Naehyun you saw him smiling. He was so happy he got a chance to beat IG. And Deft was super happy to take down IG after IG denied him, which I think IG last year denied KT Rolster their world championship. I really do feel like if KT had beaten IG, they would have just steamrolled everybody else, and I do feel like that they could have won Worlds 2018. But sadly, that didn't happen, and IG were the ones to win the event, and Deft finally got his revenge against IG. I think the best match I watched pretty much throughout the event was IG versus SKT. That game was absolutely insane. You have Rookie and Faker just making the moves. Jackie Love and Bao Long, I feel like, have played a lot better the event. I feel like none of the IG members played individually bad. I feel like they suffered from, bad drafts, all things considered. I feel like that their drafts really didn't, show off all their strengths. Yeah, they had early game prowess in their draft, but they didn't really, push every single advantage the way that you and associate IG with. It's just something that they were kind of lacking on specific days, and I think on the very last day it clearly showed that they didn't really think that Kingzone were as strong as a team. And Kingzone are a strong team. Just because they have weaker players in certain positions doesn't mean that they're a weak team. They're just weak by comparison to everybody else. But people also looked at their performance in the LCK split coming into the event, which wasn't too hot. The same with SKT, and I think that coming back from this event, that these teams are going to be only more hungry to actually show off how strong they are. I feel like Damwon is going to be a huge sleeper team coming back into this LCK split. I feel like going back into the LPL split, the LPL teams really have to, tone down on certain things. It feels like when you make an aggressive play, if that's all you think about is making the aggressive play just so you can get ahead, you're not really doing it right. Because, yeah, making the aggressive play is how you win most matches, but it's like calculated aggression. The reason why Griffin, I feel like we're, not ready to win an LCK title when they lost to KT Rolster back in 2018 summer is that I felt like they were just all bronze and no brains. And then we saw that once they actually started playing the game a little bit more smarter, they all obviously got a lot better, and then they obviously choked toward the very end of spring, and then they look much better now because they've obviously learned that just because you make an aggressive play doesn't always mean that it's the right thing to do at very specific times instead of actually gaining advantages around the map in other places. And I kind of want to just go touch on the LMS and the VCS for just a little bit here, is that, yeah, they went 0-10. So, you know how NA went 0-10 week 2 of Worlds 2015? Well, now the LMS and VCS went 0-10. So NA doesn't have to be alone in that club. They went 0-10 as well. But overall, I really felt bad for some of their teams. You know, they were trying. You gotta admit, though, Flash Wolves were trying. We've seen Mad Team at a few of these international events. They're just all over the place, though. Like, one person's doing something, and then the other guy is like, what the frick are you doing? And then the other guy makes a play, and he's like, no, I'm backing off, bro. And then it's all just all over the place. Flash Wolves, they've said, aren't even the top team in their own region right now. So, you know, what a fall from grace from getting first to go to MSI in, you know, just last spring. The VCS, I've seen Evos before at 2018 at MSI. I've just seen Fanghu Buffalo, obviously, at, you know, this event and the last event, and I saw them at the 2018 World Championship as well. They changed out their carry top laner, which I don't think was a very good decision, given the fact that they truly did lack a player that they could play through, but they never really did play through their star top laner. I forgot his name. Wasn't his name I forgot his name, but they never really played through that guy. It always just looked like they left him on an island when that should have been the lane you're playing through, obviously. Overall, I thought that this Rift Rivals was pretty competitive. The LCK finally got their first Rift Rivals. The LPL had dominated the Rift Rivals, you know, for these past couple years, and it's really nice to see the LCK finally winning an international competition, as they had not won anything, you know, for a while. But, you know, you could obviously say this doesn't count, but their Rift Rivals is completely different from NA versus EU Rift Rivals, because they take theirs seriously. We take ours for more like a for fun thing. But overall, it was very nice to see them win, and very nice to see my boy Faker getting an international title again. Another, you know, title to his trophy case, his massive, big trophy case. And it's nice to see him coming back to his Michael Jordan form. You know, like when you see Faker play, you see him playing at just another level than a lot of mid laners. And it really kind of sucks when he's considered average, because we know he can play at this very high level. Because if you've watched him for as long as I have, you know the big highest highs he can have. It's pretty much right in front of you, you know, how much good he can play. But overall, going back to the last thing before I cut out the video, is the LPL. They really need to tone down on very specific things. Their players need to be on the same page. Yeah, being aggressive can work, but it needs to be calculated in terms of what you want to do. The LCK, if there's anything you want to take away from this event, just keep playing the faster paced games that you are. It's pretty much doing you good. LMS and VCS, whenever you come to this event, just look at it the way NA looked at getting smashed by EU. Just look at that massive stuff you can improve on. See you guys later. I'm the Nightwing signing out. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. If you love these League of Legends videos, then please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Let me know what you thought about the LCK and the LPL, LMS, and VCS Rift Rivals, actually. And I'll see you guys in my next video, actually. As I said before, these videos on this channel are getting a lot more structured, doing one pretty much almost every other day. So you guys are going to be getting more League of Legends content. So I'll see you guys later. Bye. Have a good day. My boy Faker, always sitting in lane.